With all due honor and praise to the Most High, I worship thee through the divine image of my wives. Amen. Welcome to the Horseman Law Podcast. And we black at it. What's up, y'all? Football time. I know everybody's watching the games. Um, Hope you're enjoying yourselves. Hope everybody's healthy. Uh, Hope your families are healthy. Everybody on the road. Everybody out there in the field. Hope you're good. Excuse my voice. It's cold out here. You know, everybody's catching colds. I'm trying to avoid it, so bear with me. But yeah. Did your team win? Did you make some money? Did you do any betting? Brady's out. Aaron Rodgers out. So looks like it's going to be an eventful Super Bowl. Um, I'll probably be there. I'm looking forward to it. And other than that, yo, who watched the fight last night? Um, Francis Ngannou. Salute to that brother, man. Good dude, real good dude. Had the pleasure of spending a little time with him, talk to him. I was rooting for him. Hey, and look, he did something that nobody expected. Nobody thought he would be able to go to the ground. Nobody thought he would use wrestling and grappling, and he did, and shocked everybody. Everybody thought he was a one-trick pony, and if he couldn't knock this dude out, that this dude would beat him on numbers, and he proved otherwise. Now, let's get down to the real story about the fight, though, if anybody was paying attention. If you're paying attention to the fight, and if you're paying attention to the UFC, he's got contract issues with Dana White and the UFC. This was the last fight on his contract. Um, he could either let the contract run out, which would be next December, or he could resign. But the brother wants to box. Now, who can blame him? Understand, he's on the record by stating he was fighting for $500,000 as the heavyweight UFC um, unified champion, undisputed. That's outrageous, man. Let's just keep it real. Anybody in the field that fights, anybody in the field that knows anything about boxing, anything about UFC, that's crazy. For that brother to be making 500,000, 600,000 a fight is just it's just wrong. It's just wrong. Not when you got boxers making millions and millions on the undercard. You got people who are fighting on undercards of these boxing matches that are making double, triple what this brother's making as the undisputed heavyweight UFC champion. Bringing in record numbers. Dana White said himself they had over 4.5 million tickets sold or pre-buys. I'm not for sure. Don't quote me on exactly what he said, but I know he shattered the previous record for Anaheim. So he shattered the previous record for Anaheim fighting in Anaheim, and his brother's making the same amount of money. Something's got to give. Now, either Dana White's gonna step up and pay this man what he needs to be paid, and he should definitely be getting paid over 10 million a fight. There's no reason why that brother shouldn't be making 10 million a fight over. I think he's more than justified to be up in the 20 million range. More than justified. When compared to boxing, when a boxing match, a guy can make 50 million, 55 million. Of course, man. Of course. Now, he shouldn't open the door to this. This is Dana White's fault. He opened the door to this with McGregor. The moment he let McGregor and Floyd do that bullshit was the moment he opened the door for all his fighters to want to cross over. It only makes sense. It only makes sense. If this man can get 30, $40 million fighting Tyson. I'll pay for that. I'll pay to watch that. Who wouldn't pay to watch that? I mean, after the ass whooping he put on Deontay, I want to see a brother get in there and have a shot at it. Who else in the heavyweight division has a shot at fighting Tyson and making good money? Nobody. Tyson has no choice but to go down to the UFC and trying to fight Ngannou just to make a payday. Who else is going to pay for that? Joshua got his ass whooped. So if Joshua got his ass whooped, Deontay got his ass whooped, what other heavyweight fighter is there for him to fight and get a big payday? There isn't one. So it only makes sense do a clash of the Titans, Tyson Fury versus Ngannou, and let them brothers get paid, man. Put it in Ngannou's contract that he can box and he can still maintain his UFC undisputed heavyweight title since nobody's beat him. Well, he's been beaten, but nobody's beat him yet. As he regained his title. Come on, man. You can't block these brothers from making money. They have a short lifespan as champion in the UFC more than it is in boxing. You could lose in the UFC like that. So for Dana White or anybody else to try to stop this brother from getting his money, man, that's just wrong. Let that brother go. If you're not going to sign him to a good contract, if you're not going to sign him to a decent contract, well, fuck it, let him go. Let him go over there as the UFC undisputed, unified, heavyweight champion of the world. And let him go in there and fight Tyson. Now, you can be a hater all you want. You can be a hater all you want because this is where Dana's coming from. This is where Dana coming from. This is a greed situation. This is a greed situation. He doesn't want to let his fighters get a taste at boxing because of the money. The money. Everybody knows that the fighters in the UFC, the fighters in MMA make shit money. Everybody knows that. If you have a decent name or a decent following, you can make 10 times the amount of money boxing than you would at the UFC under Dana White. I'm hoping the brother signs with Floyd's promotion team. You worried about him being able to sell the fight? He doesn't need to. He just sold it. He just sold it last night. The man fought 5 rounds on 2 bad knees. He sold it last night. Yeah, man, it's money. Get that man his bread. I mean, it's only fair. Why is it that McGregor can be the only man that can get a $50 million payday and get his ass whooped? Been getting his ass whooped ever since. You got to make that make sense, Dana. And I like Dana. I remember Dana back when we was with Floyd. Seen him often. Good dude. But come on, man. Let this brother get paid. Let this brother get paid. And at some point, we got to start analyzing why every fighter in the UFC, Chuck Liddell, Tito Ortiz, Randy Couture, John Jones, I mean, every champion that comes out of the UFC has a contract dispute. Come on, at some point, we got to start understanding. The only person that never had a real contract dispute with Dana is Conor. What that tell you? And can you classify Conor as a real champion? So Conor, who hasn't held the belt for any extended amount of time, has the biggest paydays, the biggest payday on record as a UFC fighter with the Floyd fight. And all the rest of these champions haven't made the money. Nah, man, that ain't gonna work. We got to do something about that. That brother needs to get paid, man. There shouldn't be no title holder in the UFC, No major champion title holder in the UFC making less than 10 million a fight. And that's just compared to the numbers. That's just compared to the numbers that he's making. That's just compared to the pay-per-view buys. There's no excuse for it, man. And I've heard it, man. I've heard the excuses. Well, you don't understand the promotion and what goes into the medical insurance and the I don't want to hear none of that, man. The man just broke box office records in Anaheim. He's been breaking pay-per-view records for the past year and a half after a pandemic, after COVID. So come on, man. There's no excuse for not paying these fighters. You got to pay these fighters, man. So shout out to Francis Ngannou and his fight over Gan. I think it's Gan. I think his last name is Gan. His fight over him. Congrats. Shout out. Salute to the heavyweight UFC heavyweight undisputed champion. Okay. Kyrie. You know, I talk about Kyrie every week. I talk about Kyrie every week because the shoe booty brigade, that they trot out every week, it's so disgusting, man. Now I can't wait for tomorrow because Stephen A. Smith is going to have to answer to all that ball jockeying he was doing with Aaron Rodgers. He got to answer for all that because now Aaron is sitting his butt at home. Now, mind you, all the shoe booty Negroes who are out here hoping and praying Kyrie and the Nets don't do well and don't make it to the championship. I mean, pay attention to them actively cheering against this man for a decision he made with his own body. Pay attention to that. I think that's particularly egregious because you're looking at black men, and then notice the fact that the white dudes don't ever say nothing. Pay attention to that. Pay attention to the look on their face, the look of pride, the look of pride that Skip has, the look of pride that the rest of these punks have when they're listening to Barkley, Shaq, or Stephen A. Smith go on Kyrie. It's a pride. It's an attaboy. It's an attaboy look on their face. I look right at them. I don't even pay attention to the words that Barkley says. I don't even pay attention to the words he says. I don't even pay attention to what they're saying. I'm looking at the response and the attaboy from the white commentators. Just that look of, oh, so proud of this Negro. Look at him. Look at him. Go at Kyrie. Look at him go at him. How dare you? How dare you turn your back on the rest of us shoe booty Negroes and go against the system? It's sad, man. I applaud him though. I applaud Kyrie. I'm not a basketball fan at all. Don't have a particular team. But this year, strictly for Kyrie, I'm praying that the Nets win the chip. This particular year, over all other years, I'm praying that Kyrie brings the chip home so he can shit on every last one of these punks. I'm praying for it. I'm praying for it. I want to see the look on their faces. I want to see the look on Charles Barkley's face when he has to sit there and watch Kyrie win a chip as a part-time player. They always want to discredit him. He's a part-time player, this, that, and the other. He won't get the, man, if you don't shut up, you don't shut up. Now, the government and the powers to be done already told you that this shit, you can spread it and catch it and all this and all that. You're mad because this man proves all of you wrong. From jump, it should have been my body, my choice. Whatever you choose to do is on you. That's your business. Shouldn't have been nobody else's business from jump. But y'all let them fool you to jumping out there promoting it, and you got to get it with the fear mongering. Now all y'all look stupid. Stephen A. I almost died. How? How, Sway? How you almost die? You was double vaxxed and boosted. How you almost die? And then turn around. Yeah, the only reason why I didn't die is because I was vaxxed and boosted. Wait, hold up. I thought you wasn't supposed to even be hospitalized with the shit. So now you was hospitalized and at death's door? Pump full of this shit? Man, please. I ain't buying that shit. I ain't buying that at all. Say that. So I hope Kyrie win the chip, man. I'm a Nets fan this year. So if you want to send me some Nets gear, have at it. Kyrie jerseys should be sold out. Everybody should have a Kyrie jersey. As far as I understand. So, other than that, I want to talk about one more thing before we get Killer J on the line. There's a documentary on Showtime on Bill Cosby. Now, I'm offended by this on a whole nother level. I'm not going to tell you or sit here and try to act like Cosby is innocent of anything. Nobody's innocent. But the man is not guilty. The man has not been proven so. And it's very difficult to even find a legitimate story. That's just being real. I've combed through the stories. I've combed through the allegations. Those that I can find that actually break down the allegations. Very hard to find a credible allegation. Now, for them to make a documentary on this man is 88 years old. So you're going to make a documentary on a man that's 88 years old about something that happened 30 plus years ago without any proof. You have to start to ask questions. And I'm a man of free speech, so I say, cool, make the documentary. I ain't going to watch it, but make it. But let's get one on Bill Clinton. Let's get one on Trump. Let's get one on another one on Polanski. Nobody talks about Roman Polanski. Crazy. Now, there's another documentary that's out right now on A&E about the Playboy Mansion and Hugh Hefner. Now, any of those of you who understand what the Playboy Mansion meant to celebrities in the 70s, the 60s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. The man had a fucking reality show where he had these girlfriends season after season. You know, these clear prostitute. I don't know. What do you want to call them? They're clearly with this man because he pays them, and he has an actual TV show. I think one of them ended up marrying a football player or some shit. Had another reality show, but nonetheless, look up just a little homework for you. Look up Hugh Hefner, Playboy magazine, and Brooke Shields. I believe it's Brooke Shields. Now you might say, why would you do that? Brooke Shields was 10 years old, posing topless for Playboy magazine. I kid you not. Think I'm bullshitting? Look it up. Fact check me. 10 years old. Do you one better? The girl who was sexually assaulted by Roman Polanski was done so. No, I'm sexual assault. Was raped by this man. Did so at the Playboy Mansion. These are all facts. Look it up. Look it up. So when you're talking about people with a history like this, right? When you're talking about people with a history like this and a background like that, I ain't even dipped into the Epstein, Bill Clinton, pedophile island shit. We're not even on that yet. We just talking about Playboy Mansion. We're just talking about what's going on in the Playboy Mansion. So when you're talking about all that and you bring all that into play and then you trot out some clown shoe booty with a documentary talking about how disappointed he was in Bill Cosby, come on, man. Stop it. Stop it, fam. Stop it. Come on, stop it. Stop it. This Kamar character, this comedian, half a comedian, CNN analyst, clown. I mean, come on, man. Stop it, bro. Stop it. At some point, we gotta jump in there and say, hey, cool. You want to make a documentary on Cosby? Okay, cool. We're gonna line everybody up. Let's get everybody. Open up the papers. Open up the books. Let's get everybody. If you think Epstein and Weinstein, you understand? If you think Epstein and Weinstein and the crimes against children, we're talking about crimes against children. Bill Cosby, to my knowledge, doesn't have any allegations from children. These are grown women. Not saying he did, not saying he didn't. I don't know. I wasn't there. I can only go by the proof and the evidence. Proof and evidence. Just so happens there is proof and evidence of crimes against children that happened at the Playboy Mansion. There's proof and evidence of crimes against children that happened under Epstein and the people who visited that island. Epstein, Bill Gates, the lawyer, Dershowitz. Come on, man. We're going to open the books on everybody. We're going to try to get everybody. I want everybody's dirty laundry. I want everybody's dirty laundry. I'm tired of every time I turn around, it's always a black man's dirty laundry. They got spread out all over the table. Yeah, we got a lot of it. Be the first one to tell you, we got a lot of it. A lot of you Negroes that made it your business to imitate the motherfuckers running the system as much as possible. You done jumped out there like you invented pimping. Fuck out of here. That's a whole nother issue. But let's get Killer J on the line, man. See if we can get Killer J on the line. See what he got to say. But I think he's out there on the field too. Still working. Everybody's still working. I love the fact that everybody that I know is working. I appreciate that. You know, good clients, good relationships, a good working community will always do better for you than, you know, working for bad people, doing bad things, and not getting enough pay for it. You know, and I want to get Jay on the line. I want to talk about this clubhouse gangbanging. Clubhouse gangbanging. That don't even sound right. There are clubhouse gangbangers. I mean, to see, first of all, you got to understand something. And I hope everybody who's listening, I hope all the young people who are listening, I hope they understand something. There is a history of anybody that's been involved in gangs, anybody that grew up in gangs. There is a history of taking advantage of the young people in that culture. There's a history of it. You know, back in the day, they used to call it, you know, put in work. You get a young dude to put in work because, you know, if he gets caught, he just gonna go to juvie. Right? That used to be the myth and the legend. All bullshit. Because they started charging kids as adults in the 80s. So all that was bullshit. You do an adult crime, you go into adult prison. And that's been like that forever. So when they put it in movies and TV shows, when you start seeing little youngsters committing crimes at 14 and 13 and going to juvie and getting out, that's all bullshit. That's all bullshit. The whole, oh, we gonna seal your records and all that, that's all bullshit. You do an adult crime as a child, you gonna do adult time. That's the way to go. So that brings us to now. Here you are, 15, 16, 17 years old, and you got OGs, right? These are supposed to be dudes you look up to in the gang, right? Dudes that's been gangbanging all their lives are now on a app confessing to crimes and making threats, right? Solving 30-year-old murders on an app. That's a trick. That's to trick you. That's to get you to come on there. That's for you, young blood. That's for you. The game is for you. These old niggas ain't done nothing. I promise you. All of them done told. All of them got a PO. All of them got a parole officer, a probation officer. All of them being followed and tracked. All of them on paperwork. All of them got drug charges and drug cases and all. They all got people watching them. The idea is for you. is to get you to come on there, get all upset and emotional, start making threats and talking about this and that and on the hood and I'm going to do this and the hood going to do that and we going to meet at the park. Come on, man. This is a setup for you. They're setting you up. I'm going to go even deeper. I'm going to go even deeper. I'm going to go even deeper. You are dollars. Your traffic on that app generates money. It generates ad revenue. The more traffic on the app, the more ad revenue goes to the people who created the app. Thank you. So every time y'all have an argument or y'all generate some drama or generate some beef on Clubhouse, what happens is people record it. People repost it on YouTube, right? Which generates more ad revenue for not only YouTube, it generates more subscribers to Clubhouse, therefore generates more funds for the people who created Clubhouse. Now you might say, Tank, man, what's up? What's up, man? Why would your own people do that shit to you? Why? Why would black people set up black people on an app to get each other killed and locked up? The answer is slavery, my boy. This is just a new plantation. You got the same one-eyed Willie, Chicken George punks online doing the same thing that the shoe booty Negroes on the plantation used to do. I'm trying to get next to Master. That whatever I got to do to get next to him. So whatever I got to pull off, whatever I got to make happen, whoever I got to enslave, whoever I got to kill, whatever I got to do to get next to him and make him happy, they gonna do. And they doing it every day. Mark my words. Timestamp this shit. There will be, by the end of the year, Clubhouse indictments. This is our indictments that will strictly be from information garnered from Clubhouse. Mark my words. Remember I said this. Now here's the trick bag. If you're paying attention legally, right? If you're paying attention legally, Jay-Z and Meek Mill are trying to get the courts to deny rap lyrics as evidence. They ain't say shit about Clubhouse. They talking about rap lyrics. Here's the trick bag. They might give you that. It's artistic expression. That's supposed to be covered under the fucking Constitution, freedom of speech anyway. Every movie, they don't arrest people in movies for making stories about killing people who really got killed. So of course, they might give you the rap lyrics, but you'll never get the Clubhouse. That will be used in court against you every day. If you are online talking about crimes that will be used against you every day. And if you're putting it on your hood, guess what? That's a criminal organization. That's RICO. If you don't believe me, if you don't believe that they're using social media to get RICO indictments, if you don't believe that's possible, if you don't think that's happening, you should ask Casanova. If you don't think that's happening, if you don't think they're watching your grams and your lives and this new app called Clubhouse, this new app, if you don't think that's what they're doing, then you're silly. You're just silly. Just silly. I mean, I'm literally listening to one of these recordings, and they're in there talking about shit, and somebody's in the background like, "Don't repost this." Don't record this. It's too late, my boy. You done already told them everything they wanted to hear. You done told them when, what park, at what time, what to bring. You done already did it, my boy. It's too late. It's online. Yeah, let's try to get him again. It's too late. It's too late. The deed is done. So if anybody's listening to me, man, especially those of you in my business field, in this industry, stay off the Clubhouse, man. Well, if you're going to be on Clubhouse, man, do something. Teach somebody something. But all the beefs and the hood politics and, opinion pieces on who's a gangster, no answer. Okay, we'll keep it going. On who's a gangster, who's not a gangster, and who's a killer, who's not a killer. I tell you what I do know. Anybody claiming to be a killer is not a killer. I can tell you that. If they're online telling you they're killers, they're most likely not. They're most likely working for the police. That's just a fact. If you don't believe it, look up COINTELPRO. Look up what they did to the Panthers. Look up what they did to the nation. I mean, shit, just do a little bit of research. And nothing's new under the sun. All of this has been going on in a cycle and a circle for the past 30, 40 years. I mean, it's the same thing over and over again. All you got to do is pay attention. All you got to do is pay attention. He's setting everybody up. And who remembers Nextel pagers? Oh, who remembers the chirps? Who remembers the two ways? Right? Took motherfuckers 20 years to realize when they was two-waying, there was somebody storing all the two-way messages. They thought that the messages just went in the air. Oh, how'd the FBI find out about this drug house? How they know we was buying the drugs on Friday at 3:00? You told them on the goddamn two-way pagers. Right? They had locked up about 400 people in Baltimore and Philadelphia, and before they realized that the FBI bought out Nextel years before, and Negroes is running around the hood talking about, well, if you chirp, they can't hear it. If you just chirping, come on, man. Every time piece of new technology is introduced. It's introduced with government access. There's no such thing as new technology that the government doesn't have access or control over. If you're hearing about the technology, if it's being introduced to you, they have control and access to it. There's no such thing as new technology that the government doesn't have complete access to and complete control over. Cut it the fuck out. Stop listening to these people. These fake ass gangsters. Stop listening to them. They're lying to you. They're lying to you. Look up somebody called Neely Fuller. He said something that always stays with me. Always stays with me. I always think about it. Black people are too mentally unhealthy to socialize without a purpose. That's a motherfucking fact. You're too mentally unhealthy to socialize without a purpose. You have to have a constructive purpose to socialize with each other. Might be hard to hear. Family, whatever. You have to have a constructive, positive purpose in order to do so. Any other way, it ends in tragedy. Any other way, it ends in turmoil. You want proof of that? Million Man March. Over 1 million black men congregated on the Washington Mall. Not a cop was called. Not a gun was fired. Nobody got hurt. Nobody got beat up. Nobody got stabbed, shot. Constructive purpose. 50 niggas get together at a nightclub. 5 deaths. You're not mentally healthy enough, man. I'm not. There is no reason why black people should congregate amongst each other without a constructive purpose. There must be a purpose. Whether it be money, whether it be business, something constructive. I don't care if it's on Clubhouse. I don't care if it's on live. I don't care what it is. If they're offering you an opportunity or a way to congregate, socialize, hang out, they already know there's going to be some bullshit because you're too mentally unhealthy. Too mentally unhealthy. That's just keeping it real. Neely Fuller, Frances Quest Welsing. Look it up. ISIS Papers. Look it up. They break it down as to why you motherfuckers insist on killing each other every chance you get. Every chance you get. It's outrageous. It's outrageous. But yet and still, Darren Wilson, George Zimmerman, all these clowns are walking the streets, untouched, healthy, living life, enjoying themselves. Shelby's a cop. How fucked up is that? She shot a man on the highway, killed him. for no good reason and got a job at another department. You don't hear about that. Rest in peace, Terrence Crawford. Oh, wait, damn, is that his name? I believe it's Crawford. I don't know if his first name was Terrence. It's a damn shame. See if I can get Killer J on. Yeah. See if he's available. Oh, he must be working. But y'all tell me, man. Y'all tell me whether or not Clubhouse is a good idea. And whether or not y'all should be on Clubhouse talking the most shit. It's unbelievable. On another note, watch one of my shows that I enjoy, Ozarks. If you hadn't got into Ozark, you should. I enjoy Ozark. I enjoy shows like that. You know what I mean? I enjoy watching shows with like extreme European dysfunction. I enjoy it. Peaky Blinders, all that type of shit. I enjoy it. I watch it. I enjoy it. Can't get into Power, man. I know a lot of you like Power. A lot of you fuck with Power. Can't do it. You get all used to it. You get comfortable. You get to chilling and relaxing. You know, getting into the storyline, and then a bussy shot, just quick, boom. Like, god damn, it was unnecessary. They just shove it into the storyline. Like, damn, at least make it, put some character development behind it or something. Don't just bussy, just bam, all of a sudden, out of nowhere. All of a sudden, there's two men having a bubble bath. The fuck that got to do with drug dealing and, they got to do with drug dealing and fucking murder and espionage. It ain't got nothing to do with that. But shout out to 50 though, because 50 is making shows. But they're running out of style. Just another show every few months. I do like BMF. And shout out to Little Meech. Cool dude. Spent some time with him in Miami. Real cool dude. Real cool dude. I remember his father. I remember the whole movement of BMF. It was something to see. I mean, I remember the bottle wars and, Magic City and Atlanta and, buying out the bottle. Remember throwing the money, everybody throwing money in the crowd and making it rain and all that shit. I remember all that. Those of you in the business, you remember it too. I remember watching a nigga throw money and owe you money. Who remember that? You ain't been paid in a few weeks, and these niggas is making it rain in the club. Yeah. That's when you pull a motherfucker to the side. Hey, listen, man. Come here. Let me listen. Look it. You got to pay me if you're going to do that, bro. If you're going to throw that money, you got to pay me right now. If you're going to throw all that money out here in the nightclub, you got to pay me that right now. I need that immediately. I remember those days. Story time, Horseman style. Speaking of those days. All right, it was Cleveland. It was Cleveland 2005, maybe 2006. Birdman. This is before Nicki was Nicki. This is before Drake was Drake. And this is when everybody was just, Young Money was just starting. Don't quote me on the dates. They was just getting off the ground. And there was a tour. It was a Young Money tour. And this was how Wayne was introducing all the artists on Young Money to the public. He's doing on this tour. Chanel, Gutta, Tyga, all of them on this tour. And we're responsible for all of them, right? Me and Jay. We're responsible for all of them. We're in Cleveland. Now, mind you, it's a hole-in-the-wall nightclub. Capacity maybe 200, 300 people. And we go to do the advance of the club. And we catch the manager of the club handing out security t-shirts. Kid you not. They were handing t-shirts that said security on them to secure this event. And we couldn't believe it. You gotta be fucking serious. They were handing out, and then some of them had cattle prods. Some of these motherfuckers had cattle prods. Now, this is in Cleveland, Ohio. I don't know if this was the thing. I don't know if this is what they do. They carry cattle prods. I don't know, but they're fucking sticks with tasers at the end of them. Now, to my knowledge, that's a cattle prod. They had cattle prods. So we go back and report this to Birdman's people. Hey, look, man, this is bullshit. They got cattle prods. Other motherfuckers got t-shirts for, to come in. If you ain't have money, I guess if you ain't have money to get in, you wore a security t-shirt. You security. Like, we can't do this. Oh, we already been paid, so fuck it. We get to the spot. Now, mind you, the section for us is all the way in the corner. You got to go across the dance floor to get to the section. You got to go across the dance floor to get to the section. There's no other exits. One way in, one way out, because it's on the 5th floor. Just a crazy setup. So we got everybody in there. We got Nicki in there. We got Tyga in there. We got Gunna in there. We got every Gutta, not Gunna, Gutta. We got Gutta in there. We got everybody in there, right? Club is going, boom, boom, boom. Everything's popping. Next thing you know, Nicki's ready to go. Cool. I'm trying to escort her out. I'm trying to get her out through the club, going through the dance floor, separating the floor off. Everything's love. And the next thing you know, somebody grabs her ass as we're walking off the floor. He went for it. We beat the dog, defended her, got her. Club goes crazy. Cattle prods, people getting stuck, bing, bing. We trying to get Birdman out of there. We driving him out the front. We doing all this in the club, right? So we get in the club. We get in the bus, tour buses. We got 4 tour buses outside the club. We get in the tour bus. And Birdman says he left his chain. Somehow he dropped his chain in the chaos. So it's about 5 or 6 of us. Now, mind you, this is back in the day when it was 6-man crews, 7-man crews. Floyd Mayweather, 7-man crew. Birdman, 7-man crew. We were doing 7-man crews. 50 had Killer J with 6-man, 7-man crew. See, these are the days when the crews first started. This is when we was running crews. I tell you, we fought in that club for 45 minutes, cattle prods, sticks, knives, you name it. I don't know how we didn't get shot. I don't know how nobody got shot. And we snatching people up. We combing the floors. Anybody that looked like they might have took a chain. Anybody that might have thought they had a chain. We get back to the bus. Bloody. And the chain is around the man's neck. I kid you not. Kid you not. Kid you not. The man's excuse was, I didn't feel it. I didn't feel it. He couldn't feel it. Crazy. That's a horseman story right there. Got a million of them. 15, 16 years of doing this. I got a million of these stories. And those of you in the business, y'all got them too. Those of you in the business done been through it too. You done dealt with it too. This is the business we've chosen. This is what you have to go through. This is what you have to deal with when you're dealing with these artists. And, I look at the young artists today. This is something different. Everybody's got a gun. Everybody's a shooter. Nobody knows how to fight. Nobody wants to fight. And they're actually celebrating the dudes that don't know how to fight. That's how twisted it is out there. You're being celebrated because you ain't have a father to teach you how to fight. Make no mistake about it. That's what it is. A lot of these dudes are woman raised. A lot of these kids are woman raised. They don't know nothing about fighting. They know about arguing. They'll argue with you. They'll argue with you tough. They'll give you some of the toughest words they can muster up. When it comes to really getting down fist to cuffs, man, they don't know nothing about that. They don't even know what that is. All they know is get a gun, shoot somebody. A dude sent me a video of this guy who shot this other kid. He's a kid in broad daylight. At a school, it looks like. When they could have fought, just went home. They're throwing their lives away because they're afraid to fight. And fighting is a part of adolescence. It's a part of growing up. There's nothing wrong with losing a fight. I've lost a lot of them when I was younger. I lost a lot of them. That's how you learn how to fight, is by losing. Anybody that fights tells you that's how you learn how to fight. You learn by losing. Either you're getting beat up by your older brothers or you're getting beat up by some kids at school. That's how you learn to fight. There's nothing wrong with losing a fight, man. There's nothing wrong with, getting up, icing yourself up, learning some shit, coming back, and getting around two. Ain't nothing wrong with getting around two. You lose one, lose 2 rounds, go back for a third one. You want a third round, you lose that one, go back for a fourth one. Ain't nothing wrong with losing a round. Ain't nothing wrong with losing a fight, man. So, all right. I enjoyed tonight's chop it up session, shit talking. I really hope you brothers out there start to really see the game for what it is and start protecting yourselves and stop being used by these clowns out here. Stop letting them trick you out of your life and out of your freedom and out of your money. And, start Start living, man. Start living and creating and producing a new generation of men. I'm praying for it. So I'll close tonight like I always do. With all due honor and praise to the Most High, I worship thee through the divine image of my wives. Amen. And good night.